Are you ready? Are you prepared for the annual Global Media and Information Literacy Week for this year 2024 that will begin from 24th to 31st October, which creates awareness and sees the progress of media and information literacy. Creation and consumption of information has changed in recent years. Majority of the population in the world is online. How then can it be ensured that the information is used in public interest perspective, actually in promoting dialogue and critical thinking to avoid spreading disinformation, misinformation, and hate speech? The theme of this year's Global Media and Information Literacy Week will be the new digital frontier of information, media and information literacy in public interest of information. The Global Media and Information Literacy Week is celebrated to combat these risks of disinformation and fake news. The week will bring all stakeholders all over the world and to identify, assess, engage the public interest information online. The culmination will be hosted in Hashemite Kingdom in Amman, Jordan on 30th to 31st October this year 2024 by UNESCO. Your participation is highly welcome.
Welcome to this video of today. We are going to discuss more about global media and information literacy. I have my guests here who are going to talk about more. We will touch on various issues concerning this year's global media and information literacy that will begin from 24th to 31st October this year. From my side, my right side, I have my guest here. He will introduce her, then we follow with that order. Your name?
Mwanza leo.
Nafula hivyo.
Niongee Felaija.
To say more, this year's global media information literacy will touch more on public interest and also the new digital frontiers of information. And specifically, we need to understand this issue of Global Media Information Literacy Week, what it consists, what it talks about, and especially we need to understand that this commemoration or celebration started in the year 2011. And that means this is the 14th time this year or this week is going to be commemorated. As I have already mentioned, we will get the introduction, a touch on what it is about this week, how you are supposed to participate, especially the advancement in technology, online space. I will start with my guest here, Dennis Mwanza. He will speak more about the introduction, give us an overview of this week.
Thank you, moderator. The Global Media Information Literacy Week, as he has earlier said, it's a week to celebrate media and information literacy, which shapes how we access, how we search, and how critically we access and use the content wisely. Global Information Literacy Week 2024 will be highlighting the importance of keeping pace in the rapid evolving digital landscape. And this year's theme will majorly be on the new digital frontiers of information and media information literacy for public interest information. Also, it will also address the transformative impact of emerging technologies such as generative artificial intelligence and new generation of digital content creators on production and dissemination of public interest information, giving both opportunities and the risk. The risk can be the challenges. The Global Media Information Week 2024 also will underscore the importance of keeping the pace of rapid and evolving digital landscape and empowering users with skills to identify the access and engage with public interest of information online. Talking about the digital frontiers, against the backdrop of the data-rich world, MIL gets significance of as it empowers people to access reliability of sources and build discern against fake news. About the sources, Israel is very keen to evade the misinformation. It also provides people with tools to understand why and how to behave consistently information-rich environment full of digital complexities. Also in the education sector, MIL promotes meaningful engagement with democratic societies, nurturing and informing citizens to be able to make sound decisions from ample sources of information, hence curbing the misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. Thank you.
Okay, that's a good overview about this week. And we need to understand that this week brings all stakeholders in the media to talk about what is supposed to be campaigned about this week. That's why we say when we talk about online, there are digital content creators who are in this space, and those people who post or give information in the media. So as long as we have different ages, we have teens, we have people, adults who use media, who give any information. Maybe it may consist of misinformation, disinformation, and other men. So literacy is going to make us understand this week when it brings stakeholders together. It's going to make people understand how they are supposed to consume the online information. And now here, my guest Arapan Marion Kioko is going to explain what is this advocacy. How are we supposed to look at advocacy in this week? Because there are several initiatives, and even media houses can assist in advocating this week we call Global Media and Information Literacy. Marion Kioko, it's your time.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about advocacy of media information literacy. And first of all, we have to understand what is advocacy. And advocacy is getting support from another person to help you express your views, wishes, and help you stand up for rights. And a person who will help you in this case is called an advocate. And we have example of advocating. We have direct communication. You can advocate through communication. And the main aim of advocacy is to bring change in the media. So the main purpose of advocacy is to protect rights of the people or an organization and staff. We have three C's of advocacy: connection, we have communicate and collaborate. So we have different types of advocacy. We have self-advocacy, policy advocacy, parent advocacy, patient advocacy, and social advocacy. Self-advocacy is the ability to communicate your needs. People who practice self-advocacy are able to thrive in school, work, and life. We have social advocacy, that of supporting a particular cause that aims to improve the well-being of the specific group of individuals. We have goals of advocacy, of social advocacy, is to raise awareness about an issue, either a self-issue, a group issue, organization issue, and we have to bring change in policies. I say that the main aim of advocacy. We have to bring positive change for individuals and communities. Next, we have patient advocacy. Here to process of advocating for the rights of patients, caregivers, supervisors and staff. We have parent advocacy. He is talking on behalf of your child, either to raising concerns, asking questions, or asking help. And lastly, we have policy advocacy, process of influencing decision makers to affect positive outcome of public policies such as laws and regulations. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a good elaboration on advocacy. How somebody can assist you to express yourself in a way that is understandable. That's what we call advocacy. Thank you very much. Also, we need to touch on education. Even we have when children who are in school, the younger ages, they have phones, they use the media. When they use the media, which means that they need to be taught how to use this media, how they are supposed to use the information in the media, because they may be misled. Today, my guest here, Collins Onyango, is going to elaborate more about that. It's your time.
Thank you. Meal has been explained using different terminologies, but the main idea of meal, that is media information literacy, is the ability to engage in meaningful media and information channels. To continue my presentation, will eventually focus on media and education benefits of meal in education. And first, meet the needs of students to be wise consumer of media resources, manage information and be responsible producers in the culture and the environment, and to continue ideas in using powerful multimedia tools and global media culture. Media and students bringing the world media into classroom connects learning with real life and validates media culture as a rich environment to reach students with critical thinking skills and others. Give students and teachers a common approach to critical thinking. Teachers need a lot in their teaching ways that when it analyzed becomes a second nature of life in transmitting and dissemination of knowledge and facts. Focusing on process skills rather than content knowledge. Students gain ability to analyze any message in any media and thus are empowered for living in a multimedia saturated culture. Help meet student standards while using contemporary media content, which students love most. In this world of this era of technology and digital, we understand that children will cope better with things they find online and social media. That's why they will cope better with technology, embracing their skills in media information literacy. Another point is help meet student standard while using sorry, I have touched on that. Students use appropriate resources to produce high quality. We found that currently there are different sources in internet can be used by students to enrich their learning skills. For example, we have the artificial intelligence that is the ChatGPT. Most students use it to broaden their knowledge in classes and classrooms. And lastly, promotes problem-solving approaches and critical thinking skills, asking questions in different perspectives and approaches, seeking answers and finding information, forming opinions, and evaluating resources and making decisions. In conclusion, media literacy therefore endeavor needs to accept that our students and professors live in a world that is increasingly militarized. To become a world where we understand what we consume and we understand what we deliver and produce and disseminate to other people in different perspectives to different people in the world. Thank you.
Okay, that's a good explanation. Now we want to move forward to understand this week of global information media literacy. How is it? How does it concern teens? How are teens concerned? I want my guest here, Frona, to give us a good understanding to what that week is about teens.
Okay, thank you. As we are going to celebrate this local media week, it
it will be going to be a crucial moment to reflect on the roles of media information literacy, especially among our teens. In an age where information is abundant yet misleading, equipping young minds with skills to discern facts from fiction is essential. Media information literacy empowers teens to navigate the digital landscape confidentiality. It also teaches them to critically evaluate sources, to understand bias, and to recognize misinformation in the society. And by doing this is not just about consuming the content, but also informing citizens who can contribute meaningfully to the society. So I am trying to encourage our teens to ask questions, for example, like who created these messages, what's the purpose of these messages, and by doing this, we prepare them for not only becoming the consumers of the content, but also becoming responsible.
I want to just have a view on teens. Teens, we talk about children who are about 13 to 19 years, and nowadays they use phones to learn. There is a lot of information in the media space or the online space, so they need to be critical thinkers, and this they can be taught in class. The same way my guest here, Colin, said about teaching them to understand how to evaluate and also understand the information they get in online and the media. So it's good teachers, those people who guide these teens, to enable them have a critical thinking so that they can analyze any information they encounter in the media space. We move forward to touch on another issue that will be a concern and will be a consideration during this global week of media and information literacy. Now we move to understand a research. What is the significance of doing research during this week? What do we expect? And I have my guest here, Elijah Nyongeza. I think he is prepared to talk about that more.
Okay.
Yes, welcome.
I'll be talking about the significance of media information literacy in research. Here, as we celebrate this year 2024, media information literacy, we'll be seeing how is it significant to research. I'll start by critical thinking. Media information literacy help researchers to distinguish between which sources of information are they choosing. This will help them when determining the accuracy of information. For example, when a researcher decides to choose high quality sources of information, he will get accurate information rather than choosing the low quality information. Another thing is about accuracy. The accuracy of information will determine whether the researcher has done his work well or not. So the media information literacy will come up with the idea of assisting this researcher to come up with good researching skills. For example, a journalist who has to work, or a journalist who has a work to do with political scandal in Kenya, will need to come up with good media information literacy that will help him to determine whether the information is accurate or not. Here, he will involve in fact-checking of the information and verification, rather than going to internet and choosing information on his own, whereby it might not be the same information. Another one is about informed decision making. In the field of policy making, healthcare and education, media information literacy is essential because it will help this individual to determine whether this information is accurate or not. This will help him or her determine by choosing the right source of information that he wants to use. The last point I'll talk about is effective communication. Media information literacy has helped individuals in the media to come up with good communication skills. For example, individuals with high media information literacy skill will get information easier and accurate information, rather than those individuals who have low media information literacy. I'll give this example. Those individuals with high media literacy, information will obtain this information easily because number one, they will be able to do their work easy. Here, they will present their research, which is easily accessible, clear, and comprehensive. Thank you.
Okay. He has done a good has done a good explanation about doing research, and there's a good conversation he has brought in about fact checking. When we talk about fact checking, it is so crucial that when you fact check something, it enables you that any information that maybe you will disseminate, it consists and caters for the public interest. And this is the conversation of this year, this 24th to 21st, the first week of global media information literacy. When we talk about public interest, misinformation is something that is killing men productivity and development projects maybe that concerns people. And now, with that conversation, I want my guest here, Willie Kiplagat, to touch on how we spot the fake news in the internet. He will touch on that very fluently, I know, and I believe we will understand what we expect in this week. Call it Willie Kiplagat.
It's your time.
Yes.
So we are living in a digital era where fake news is everywhere. So it's very crucial for we journalists and also media practitioners to explore on some of the ways of spotting misinformation so as not to mislead the public. One of the ways is checking the source of that information. Here, you verify the credibility of the source by looking at the web's domain or the credentials of the source. Also, you can do this by looking at the consistency and also the credentials of the source. Cross-reference the information. It is important to compare the information with any other reliable source so as to see the consistency and if different sources report on the similar facts. Look for biases. It is crucial to identify biases in the information. For example, political affiliations. Check the tone and language. Misinformation normally uses emotional language and exaggerated claims. So it's very crucial when you examine the tone and be able to detect whether the information is correct or it is fake. Examine the dates. Make sure to check the dates of the information to ensure it is current and accurate. Consider the intent or the intention of the one spreading such news. Here, it is important to ask yourself why the information is being shared and whether it is meant to inform, persuade, or manipulate the public. Consult the experts. When you have doubts with information, it is important you seek out experts in the field or consult the professionals who can provide accurate and reliable information. As I conclude, I urge you, all journalists, to critically examine or explore ways of dealing with misinformation so that we ensure our society can get information that is correct and verified.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Now we need to understand, does culture affect the information we consume and the media? That's what we need to understand. And also, when we talk about culture, we need to understand that people have different beliefs. So that is a very strong impact that it needs anybody using the media need to have an informed judgment. That's what we call about literacy. Making informed judgments as a user of the media platform, maybe Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, all of that. You need to have an informed judgment so that not to have a burden of judging negatively without considering the culture, traditions, customs, and beliefs. Wani, will explain this more on what do we need to know about culture. Welcome, Wani.
Okay, thank you. I'll talk about how culture and media information literacy relate. Okay, the Media Information Literacy Week first is a global event since it encourages us on how to be mindful while we are interacting with media and information. And in my discussion, I will focus more on how media information literacy and culture intersect, why they are crucial in our modern society, and how they affect each other. And my key area of study is here in Kenya. And therefore, culture refers to the way of living of people. And therefore, culture and media information literacy intersect in various ways. For instance, here in Kenya, we are from very different cultural backgrounds, and depending with our cultural background, it will determine on how, just in case I encounter a message on social media, for my case, maybe I'm from this tribe and you're from a different tribe, depending on our cultural beliefs, is how I will interpret the message. But media information literacy encourages us to be mindful. Therefore, I won't just judge, I'll be mindful on the way this tribe will take my response.
So we need to understand there is those diversity. Now, when you communicate through the internet or the media, your information reaches a lot of people across the world. So you need to consider how and the impact this information you are passing across or whatever you are putting across, how it's going to be received by the other people. So it's important when using the media. That's why this week, from 24th to 31st, it will touch on the public interest. You must consider the cultures, your information. People should understand how a certain culture may not coincide with what you believe. So then when you have this literacy, critical thinking and understanding, it's able to analyze how you are going to charge an information or an communication. Now, after talking about that, what will we say about the law? What is this law of media, global media information literacy? And what is the importance of this week? Because it's bringing all stakeholders in the media together to address and assess different concerns on the media. Now, we need to understand the law. My guest here, Tabitha is going to explain more about the law of media and the information literacy. It is your time.
Thank you, moderator. I'm going to tackle the role in building myth. Here, it involves stakeholders, each playing a vital role in empowering individuals to engage in MIL content, media information literacy content. The first one is on educational institutions, where teacher training is equipped there, where teachers teach communication students with MIL teaching skills. The other one is libraries, where we get some resources to learn. There is resource provision, where it offers access to information to journalists or media information students like us, or what? The third one is government organization, where government fund and support MIL, media information literacy programs and initiatives. The other one is non-governmental organization, NGOs in short form, where advocacy and awareness is applied, and they raise awareness about the importance of MIL, how MIL benefits the society, how MIL benefits its audience, how they disseminate the information. The other one is media organization, where there are some ethical standards which should be observed to promote responsible journalism and media practices. The other one under MIL, the role, parents and guardians. Here, guardians guardians and parents should provide guidance and support to the children on the issue of meal skills by providing guidance on navigating digital content. The other one is research and academics. Here, innovation and development is applied where students or journalists conduct research to advance meal methods and tools. In conclusion, like the roles, by journalists or media practitioners doing so in their above roles, they can create a comprehensive and sustainable approach to building meal, ensuring individuals are well equipped to navigate the digital world responsibly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that good expression. Now, as you have heard, there are so many things that this week is going to touch on. This Global and Media Information Literacy Week that will happen from 24th to 31st this year, October. And we need to remember this commemoration that UNESCO decided to take this week to be there so that to educate people much about literacy, the way they are supposed to consume information in the media. Now, we need to remember this, that this year, this event or this week will end by celebration in Hermesite in Amma, Jordan, where the UNESCO will do their last commemoration. And this means everybody is invited to participate, including ourselves, the way we have done here, so that to arrange and prepare people to understand what they are supposed to know, they are supposed to understand, the information they are supposed to consume in the media. And also, the explanation that have been given by everybody and every guest here is of key and consideration. And I want to put it like we can understand that there are so many specific things that we need to consider. This week helps us to have an understanding to make good decisions, and to any information you get, helps to build and connect in our societies and communities. Also, it helps us when we are accessing information, which kind of information you are accessing. Without forgetting, when we are using the media, considering the technology, how are you going to use this technology for your benefit? We have cyberbullying. Those are all the aspects and the issues that will be talked about this week. Now, and again, we need to remember that this week helps all stakeholders and people considering their public opinion. Any public opinion you make, it is taken into consideration. Remember this week is so crucial in navigating the complexities of life, of this modern life, especially of the media and technology. Without forgetting that this media week, MEAL will aim to raise awareness and engagement in people so that to avoid disinformation, misinformation, and even malinformation. Whenever a person is informed, it will be easy to analyze and give an informed judgment. Thank you very much. But I forgot to say my name at the beginning. My name is Abraham Onguti. I was the moderator of this special conversation that we have had about the global media and information literacy. Without forgetting, we had one of us, because of unavoidable circumstances, is the cameraman, Felix Onyoke, who has been doing good so to ensure that everything that has been said here is captured. I want to appreciate that. And I appreciate everybody for taking time coming here so that we can teach people can have a know-how, the importance and the special role this week is playing so that to create awareness to people. Thank you very much.